Welcome to Pivot Parenting, where we help parents of teens overcome regret and disappointment to find peace and connection in every situation. I'm Heather Frazier, your parenting expert. Journey with me to discover effective parenting tips, improve family relationships, and build a brighter future for your kids. Buckle up, things are about to get better. Hey, my friends, welcome to today's episode of Pivot Parenting. I'm excited to have you here, and I am going to teach you the fast track, cheat, easy way to chill out in moments of stress, as teenagers and life tend to present us with. Because the number one subconscious belief that sabotages us as parents is that something has or will go terribly wrong. Now, we can never get rid of this in our brain because it is a survival, hardwiring, been here forever kind of thought in our head. And it often serves us well because it gives us a little dress rehearsal of worst case scenario so that we can be prepared for when things do go wrong. So we don't want to completely destroy or get rid of this part of our brain. It's the part that says, all right, it feels like somebody's behind me. And if somebody's behind me walking down this dark, scary alleyway, here's how I could respond to protect myself. Or my teenager's friend seems like trouble, and I'm going to keep a close eye on their friendship to make sure that I keep my kid educated and as safe as possible. So we do not want to completely dispel this part of our brain that's like, yep, worst case scenario is 100% going to happen. But what we do want to give it is another option, which is nothing has gone wrong. And this is the fifth of the 6 steps or things that I see parents get wrong the most that we can change to instantly improve our relationship. Embrace the belief that nothing has gone wrong. And if you're into the divine or religion or God, I like to say this in a way that there's nothing you or your kid can do where God will then snap their fingers and say, by golly, I don't know what to do with you now. You went and messed it all up, and I'm at a loss. I can't help you. You took it too far. That day literally never comes. So nothing has gone wrong. But our brains like to predict. And so it will predict as we're holding our newborn child that they will be a happy toddler, that they will be the joy of our life, that they will do everything and think we are the wisest and the smartest, and they will follow our instructions, and they will live happily ever after. And then when they become teenagers and they say, I don't want to do that. I would like to go use vapes or have a boyfriend or whatever it is that was not part of the predictive story we told ourselves, then we think something has gone wrong. But the more accurate thing to tell ourselves is that we just didn't think it would look like this. We inaccurately predicted what their future would look like or what they would do in any given situation. Now, everybody will agree with you that if your kid is vaping or cheating or lying to you, that something has in fact gone terribly wrong. So stay with me because as you may know, I coach by we have a circumstance, then we have a thought and a feeling which drives actions which yield a result. And so when we look at a circumstance such as I found a vape in my kid's drawer, and they said, yes, I've been vaping, then we have lots of thoughts of their health, their ability to be happy and function in ways that maybe that vape we think they can't have, which freaks us out. And when a parent is freaked out, frustrated, scared, worried, they tend to come at their teenager with that energy. And it can look like anger. It can look like passive aggressive, controlling, micromanaging. And it can also look like defeat, where we just throw up our hands and we stop caring because it doesn't matter if we do or don't. We can't alter their behavior. These are all responses to try and control our child into behaving how we think they should, which is obviously stop vaping. But the result that this yields from our micromanaging, anger, or withdrawal is that now we're not even controlling ourselves in the best way possible. So we think our kid isn't controlling themselves, and then we go and we don't control ourselves. And when we have two people who can't control themselves from the best part of their brain, there are a lot more problems to be had. So when we find a vape, we could also think, this makes sense. And while this isn't ideal, and I know that this is not a healthy option, and perhaps an indicator of other problems, I understand that this is developmentally on point and can lead to really great conversations and me to be able to connect with my child. And from that energy, do you see how we're not like, oh, well, vapes are fine? No, we can still believe that our kid would be better off without vapes, but we can address that they are in fact choosing to do that. And how do we want to choose to respond with love, with compassion, with understanding? Because I'll tell you what, every human, your teenager included, wants to feel like they belong, wants to feel like they are loved, wants to feel good. And vapes are one way that provide that. Now, they're not the best of ways, right? Going for a run, calling a friend, those are better ways. But they have found a way to meet their need. And when we can talk to our child from that approach, it invites connection, it invites conversation, it invites love to be present, which then yields the result that we are offering our child love and compassion, and that we are acting from our best self so that we can be proud of how we behaved. We're not going to lose our mind. And that we are encouraging and inviting our child to do the same through our example. And that is the best way to yield a positive result. Now, let's take this down a few notches to something maybe less overtly nefarious, like a vape. A few years ago, I was just new to all of these concepts, and I was really struggling in one of my relationships with my child. And this child said to me, "Mom, you're talking over me." And they're completely right. When I get super anxious, I tend to cut people off in conversation and talk over them. And this child would leave the room when I did this and refuse to continue the conversation. And at first, when they would start doing this, I would get defensive, I would freeze, I would try to re-engage, and it never went well. Because I just wanted to help, but it was, again, from a frantic, nervous, oh snap, something has gone wrong type of energy. And I needed them to understand right then. But when I could embrace the fact that they're setting boundaries because they don't like the way that I am communicating, then I could catch a beat, that I could ground myself, and I knew that I would have the opportunity to try again. Whether it was that day or another day, because we tended to butt heads a lot. And it would be easy for this moment to replay in my mind as evidence that I was doing it wrong, because I literally was doing it wrong. And I was causing some of the tension in our house. But instead of making that mean that I was broken or that they were broken or that our relationship was broken, I could embrace the belief that in fact, nothing had gone wrong. Hi there. I just want to pause and let you know if you are struggling to make sense of your teen's behaviors, emotions are running wild, and you're looking to turn things around to have the family you dreamed of while rocking them to sleep, I would love to talk to you. I want to give you a special, powerful gift. 30 minutes with me, my friend. You'll walk away with more confidence, clarity, and understanding of what the issue is and your next best step in resolving any situation you bring to me. It's completely free. I love families and want to help yours be wildly happy and successful. Book this call by visiting my website, heatherfraser.com. Remember, Fraser is spelled with a Z-I in the middle. And don't worry, the link is also in the show notes. I look forward to meeting and helping you. When we can approach our child with the belief that nothing has gone wrong, one of the things happening is we are not in fix-it energy. When we come at our child to fix them or the situation, it dials up tension. It puts everyone on high alert and generally makes things worse, not better. Bad grades, they're not a big deal. Lying is something that we all do. And if you disagree with me, you're lying. And it is especially age appropriate. No, you and I, we justify our lies, right? Like if somebody asks how we're doing and we don't feel safe telling that person why we're having a lousy day, we're going to lie and we're going to say, I'm great. How are you? Because we don't want to tell that person that we're not doing well. Or it's socially normal to lie. Even if we wanted to tell that person, it's socially okay just to say, fine, I'm fine. How are you? That's an easy way that we can see that we all actually lie. We can think that fights are a problem, but they're actually engagement. So they're a good place to begin change. Parents, we're supposed to feel worried, sad, frustrated, and angry at times. That does not mean anything has gone wrong. Our teenagers, they're supposed to want space from us. That doesn't mean anything has gone wrong. Developmentally, that is healthy and normal for them to push away from us. So all of these things that our brain tries to recognize as wrong, then it heightens our nervous system and we approach it with fix-it energy, and our kid doesn't want to play along. It just blows it up. And I'm not saying that grades and lying aren't real problems that need addressing. I'm saying the conflict, the tension, the feeling that we're failing and our kid's future is doomed, that's not proof that something is broken beyond repair. Families are just people who love each other and are struggling to try and understand and engage with one another. It's just people who love each other with completely different ways of meeting their needs, all colliding under one roof. So I needed my teenager to listen and to show respect and to buy into my fears and insecurities and to care about their future in ways that I could recognize. And my teenager needed space and autonomy and proof that they could handle their life and that I actually cared more about them than being heard. I was scared of losing them, and they were scared of not being enough on their own. That's not failure. It is family relationships. And it's messy and confusing when you don't know the structure that you are working within, when you don't understand the lay of the land. And this rocky adolescent phase isn't anyone's fault because there's not a problem. It is simply what happens when we have parents who are a lot more experienced and adolescents who want experience. And both parties want the same thing. to feel seen and understood and safe. But they're trying to get there in opposite ways, so it can feel very conflicting. Think about it. There's no human relationship that doesn't hit turbulence during transitions, even if the transitions are good, like marriage, a first baby, retirement, a move, a job change. The teen years are just another transition, but it can feel very confusing and messy and painful. But it's actually totally normal and healthy. And we actually want conflict. If there's not conflict in the relationship with your teen at all, that can be a red flag. It can be emotional disconnection or unhealthy enmeshment or codependency. So, if you've been walking around thinking, good families don't fight like this, or someone like me or my teen is messing this up, we've got to be doing it wrong, please, I want you to hear me. Good families don't always get along. And healthy parents and teens butt heads, and you actually want that. It means both of you are developing exactly as you should. The question isn't whether conflict will happen, because it will. The question is whether you can see the pattern underneath it and use the conflict as a springboard for growth, development, and connection. Because that's where everything can change. And it starts with altering the belief from this has gone terribly wrong to nothing has gone wrong. And you can take that in baby steps if you like, by saying this isn't what I expected, but it's still something that we can work with. That's a nice bridge thought, if you will, from this has gone terribly wrong to nothing has gone wrong. It's just not what I expected. This isn't what I was picturing, but it's not a problem. Or everything is figure outable. We can figure out how to navigate the whole vape thing and get you the help that we need. Or the anxious thing, or whatever it is that isn't working. And as always, my friend, I am one click away. In my show notes, there is a button to book a call with me. I invite you to do so. Even if it doesn't work out that we work together, you will get so much clarity and help in the 30 minutes that we spend together in that free call. I invite you to take advantage of that, and we'll talk to you next week.
It's a lost cause, crying in the closet.